Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Live It Up, the show where we explore and discuss how to take your life to that next level and beyond. We cover health, wealth, relationships, and how to create a life that feels really good, because that is what we all ultimately want. We want to feel good. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson, and sitting to my right is one of the best game players I know when it comes to cribbage, boggle, and word games in general. Say hello to Amy Ellingson.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
It's always good to see you.
We always see each other.
Hey, so what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about play and the importance of play.
Nice. Do you feel like you get enough play in your life?
I think I could have more, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right. Well, we'll make sure we do. Hey, we're going to talk about play today, like she said. But before we get to that, I want to remind you that if you have questions you would like us to answer on or off the air, just email those straight to me at fletcher@fletcherellingson.com, and we'll get an answer for you. You don't need to suffer. You don't need to try to figure it out all on your own. There are answers and solutions and ways to get unstuck and move forward powerfully. You can also visit me at my website at fletcherellingson.com or thepracticeoffeelinggood.com. And I got all sorts of fun resources there, so check it out, visit me, and let's get into a conversation together. So today we're going to be talking about play, but before we do that, let's talk about some things that are going well in our life, a win, or because we're very practiced at noticing what's not going well. Mm-hmm. We want to practice noticing what is going well and what feels good. So you want to take it away?
Sure. One thing that's been fun lately is that I decided to start rollerblading.
Yes.
And I think I got those for my birthday, so that was like a month ago.
Yeah.
And since then, I have been rollerblading like once, maybe twice a week, and working up to get better and faster and go longer.
Yeah. And you have been doing that. You've had a handful of times you've gone out and already making progress.
Yeah.
Feeling more comfortable.
Yep.
Going faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have a friend that you do it with.
Yep.
Once in a
Nicole
while.
from my office, my nurse, who everyone loves. She's been roller skating. She also is a beginner at it, and so we both are having fun at Riverwalk. And I decided everyone thought I was a little crazy wanting those, but I feel like I know there's a risk of falling, which everyone points out to me, but I do have pads on. I'm a total dork out there. But I feel like it is a good way as I get older to have some cardio, some strength, some fun. And I think I know that I've seen people on rollerblades that are so comfortable on them, and I know I will get there. I may not be like a rollerblade dancer, but I can at least have a really good time.
Well, we should get a video of that and post it.
Of me rollerblade dancing?
Yeah,
maybe in like 5 years I'll be that good.
But I love that you're doing it, and I like one of the reasons is that you want to increase your mobility and just, because good mobility feels really good, right?
Yeah, and just keeping, hip strength, leg strength. That's something that I think is also important as we get older. So
yeah,
I think, it'll be fun.
Good. Anything else?
Well, we're having our daughter graduate from high school, so that's kind of a exciting time. And so that's, a lot of just everything is like the first for this, and planning the summer, and then planning on bringing her, taking her to school. So that's all really exciting, too.
Good.
Yeah. What about for you?
Let's see. A win.
Things going well.
Things going well, yeah. A few weeks ago, I led a seminar for the women physicians at Confluence Health, and that was really fun. You were there, and it was great to interface in a live setting again, because it's been a while since we've been able to do live seminars and meetings, so that was fun. And we had the sound bath people there, Ada and Nathan, who have been on this show before. They were there with their didgeridoos and drums and all sorts of cool instruments.
Yeah,
and it
really
felt
cool.
really neat.
Yes.
So that was a win. Business is going well. Life's going well. Spring is here. We had a trip to LA, which was fun to see family. Lots of feel-good things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So let's talk about what's going on well in the world. We're practiced at noticing what's not going well in the world. Like, much of the news is like, what's not going well? We'd like to change that focus and talk about some of the things that are going well in the world, because there are a lot of things going well and people out there making a difference and making a contribution.
Yeah. So the first thing, this is from the publication we like so much, Christian Science Monitor, and we are not Christian scientists, but we love this publication. It always has really in-depth stories and really positive news, which we enjoy. So this one is in the United States. They're mentioning climate victory gardens, referencing the victory gardens that were popular during World War I and World War II, where about 20 million families across the U.S. planted victory gardens at the time. And when they were at their height back in those days, they were supplying up to 40% of the country's produce. So during the pandemic, people got into gardening again, and people were wanting to create their own produce and grow their own produce. So just between 2021 and 2022, this organization that's following these backyard gardens, the number went from 8,600 to about 15,000 in the beginning of this year. And the really great thing about all these new gardens is that they serve as carbon banks, and they can absorb carbon, which helps us with global warming and climate change. So this group, Green America, estimates that the gardens that they are aware of have offset the emissions of the equivalent of 39 million miles driven. So keep gardening.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool. And Meg, our friend Meg, and I are doing a garden as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it's fun always to be able to harvest fresh veggies.
Yeah.
Feels good. All right, so I'll go. Let's see. A team of scientists reported that they just identified a brand new star. Not a brand new. It's actually one of the oldest stars, but it's brand new to our findings.
Yeah.
And they said it's... this star was probably developed about a billion years after the Big Bang. And that star is 12.9 billion light years away. And they're able to see it with this Hubble Space Telescope, which blows my mind. And just give you an idea of what a light year is. Light travels 186 or 188,000 miles a second. And which again just blows my mind. Can't even fathom it.
Yeah.
But they also said this star, which is named Earendel, is millions of times brighter than our sun. So
very cool.
Massive and hugely
space
intense.
Stuff is so mind-boggling.
Yeah, it really is. What else you got?
This is about the world tiger populations, that they have risen. There was an all-time low in 2010 with only 3,200 tigers left in the world, wild tigers. And so they launched a tiger initiative in 2010, and since then there has been a decline in that reduction. They didn't give an up-to-date number of how many tigers are in the wild right now, but the cool thing is that India has added 14 tiger reserves just in the last 8 years. And then China also created the largest tiger protection area in the world in 2017. So people are working together to, help avoid the extinction of wild tigers.
Yeah, increase the population.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, one more?
You have this one, yep.
Let's do one more here. Chess lessons give children in poor urban parts of Nigeria an educational launch pad. I thought this was really cool. Because there are only 60% or 61% of people, the kids are going to school.
In Nigeria.
And so they said, let's introduce them to this, to chess. And 86% of those students that are in the chess program remain in formal schooling. And it's also cool because they were saying it teaches them patience, it teaches them high-level concentration and critical thinking.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was so cool. And they've been able to distribute $400,000 in academic scholarships because people are getting behind this initiative and giving money to it.
Nice, all the chess fans.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, hey, we're going to take a quick break, but stay with us because we're going to come back and we're going to start talking about play and the value of play. And are you playing enough in your life? Hey everybody, welcome back to Live It Up. So glad you're here. So glad that you are in this conversation with us. It feels good to talk about what's going well in the world. It feels good to notice where life is working out. And today we're talking about play. You know, I looked up play just for a couple quotes and just to see what would come up. And I love this quote from Einstein. He reportedly said, "Play is the highest form of research." And as I started thinking about that, it really is a form of research, not like intentionally, but as children play, as we play as adults even, it gives us an opportunity to examine things, to learn things, to discover.
Yeah.
It's a form of discovery, really, right?
Right.
And we see this in kids. When they pretend, they're learning about outcomes. They're having these experiences, and the brain is processing all that information, right?
That reminds me of this. I know this is totally off topic, but that one study that they did, like a pre school or something, and they thought that would help academic performance in some state in our country. And what they found was that the kids that didn't go to the preschool actually did better than the kids that were enrolled in more formal school, because the other kids were presumably playing and they had unstructured time. And so anyway, it's just like the importance of play, especially in kids, but adults too.
Yeah. And and then I saw another quote there too that said, "Play is our brain's favorite way of learning and discovering."
Cool.
Yeah. And so in thinking of play, I was thinking like how much I enjoy playing. Like I really love to play.
You do.
And there's lots of forms of playing, but I also was thinking of it, and my favorite type of play is a form of play where you're not attached to an outcome, and because in a lot of the games that we play, we're playing, but there's this sense of competing, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you're attached to the outcome of winning. Or maybe you don't have to be attached to it, but you're playing to win.
Right.
Whereas for me, like sometimes even blowing bubbles, I'm a huge fan of bubbles. I like bubble machines. We own a couple of bubble machines, and I like to have them on sometimes during the summer days just for fun. But there's something so satisfying about playing with bubbles, right? And it's that because I think it activates that discovery. You're like looking at the shape and the size and and playing with them. And anyways, I love play. And we're a big family that plays big time. And we brought some of the things that we play frequently and want to encourage you guys to maybe try some of these out if you haven't, or if you need more playtime in your life. So we got a whole bunch of games here. Which one is one of your favorites?
Oh gosh, I mean, they're all just like depends on your mood. I mean, code names we really like, and you can play that with just two people. I don't know how you play it with two people, but you're kind of like you have to guess. It's like a word guessing game. So if the word is banana and I say monkey, but you might have to pick banana out of you have to pick it out of all these words. So if I say monkey and there also is like something else on there, it can be really tricky.
Yeah.
We like this one.
That's a fun one.
This is like a mellow one.
That's a really mellow one, and best with 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Telestrations, we just played this together. We played this lately in the last month.
So this game, Telestrations,
It's pretty funny.
it's, like if you want to laugh a lot, this is the game.
Especially when you laugh at someone like we did.
Yeah.
Yes, my stepfather did a really funny sheep, and it did not look like a sheep, it looked like a tick or something.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like combines the operator game and Pictionary, and so it's drawing and guessing, and it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. I do not excel at this game.
No, Fletcher is a terrible drawer.
Yes, I am. But it's okay. It makes for a lot of good laughs. And then, of course, cribbage.
Yeah, we've kind of taken a little break from cribbage, but we were fairly obsessed with it for years.
Yeah, for years we were playing cribbage because my aunt and uncle told me that they had been playing cribbage for years.
Cribbage board.
And they had been keeping a tally of all the wins and losses. And they were within just a few wins of each other, like a few.
After decades.
Yeah. And so I was so impressed with that, I thought, we should start doing that. Wasn't necessarily a good idea because the gap between her wins and mine was significant.
I was kind of crushing him for about a year.
Yeah, for a solid year, she was crushing me. It took me a while to catch on to some strategies. But And then I caught up, but you still were solidly ahead in your wins. But that's a fun one.
Yeah.
And we like taking this on the airplane too.
Yeah, because you can buy the portable ones or travel ones, whatever.
Yeah, and so that's good up on the airplane. Also, just cards in general. Like, we're a big card family. We play a lot of cards, Kings in the Corners, and
Knock
Knock Knock, and Pinochle. So that's a fun one too.
Play that in a while.
Yeah, but that's a good one, and extremely portable. Portable fun on the on the plane. I mean, so real easy.
Airport.
And then of course there is Boggle.
Let's do Boggle and then take a break before you come back again.
And Boggle is a fun word game. And it's a timed game. I think it's like 2 or 3 minutes per round.
Yeah.
And that's super fun. And it's very dangerous to play with her.
No one likes to play with me.
Because she crushes everybody. So
Not all the time. You sometimes win.
once in a while. Once in a while. But you're pretty solid on that one too.
Pretty solid.
Pattern recognition is a strength of yours.
That's what I do in my job.
Yeah, pattern
Yes.
recognition. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. All right, hey,
Should we
we're
take a break?
Yeah, we're going to take
Yeah.
a quick break, then we're going to come back. We'll talk some more about play, so stick around. Hey everybody, welcome back to Live It Up. So glad you're here. We are talking about play, the value of it, and some of the things that, as you can see, we play in our family. I think one of the things I love so much about play is that it brings people together. We're not talking about politics, we're not talking about religion, we're not talking about what's going wrong in the world. We're there and we're engaged, which is it's a fun way to engage. It's a safe way to engage. It feels safe anyways to me. And there's a lot of laughter, and it's different a way of connecting than we connect most of the time.
Yeah, and there's no technology on.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is something we all do a lot of.
Yeah. What were you going to say about play?
Well, when you asked me, do I have enough play in my life, or could I use more, or something like that, I think that it is interesting. Sometimes, even though we're playing, it's not always silly. And I do think adults could all use more silliness. And that's what I think I maybe don't have, I would like more of.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I totally can relate to that. Because, like, even though I love to play pickleball, like, that's not not silly, right? But, like, illustrations,
silly.
Very silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about our newest game that we fell in love with.
That we got for Christmas, and it is so fun, and it's colored, patterned tiles. So it's kind of like a combination of Scrabble, but also what's that other one?
Dominoes,
The Apple.
Oh,
Anyway.
Anyway.
It's like a patterned tile, and you put it. It's all over the board, and you can build on each other's. It's really fun.
it's really fun. You're not spelling words or anything. It's just patterns.
Just shapes. So you do shapes and colors.
Yeah. So and it's a great one for all ages because you're not it's not Scrabble where you have to know how to spell and know words.
Yeah, like Boggle, if you play with different age groups, the adults obviously have an advantage with having a larger vocabulary.
Yeah.
But this one, anyone can win.
Again, pattern recognition.
Yes.
She's very good at it.
You have beat me like 2 times now, I think.
Actually, it was 3.
Oh, 3. He's counting.
I am counting because it's such a rarity.
Yeah, this one's really fun. Everyone who's played it with us now has their own because they're obsessed with it.
Yeah. And then, of course, there is Catan. Dun, dun, dun. This is a really, really fun one. If you grew up playing Risk way back in the day, which was like a 5 to 7 hour game, this one is a little reminiscent of that, but it's not quite the investment in time. Although a good game can...
Couple hours.
is about 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
But this one's super fun, and again, there's strategies, and you got to really pay attention, and you're trading and negotiating, and there's some luck for sure, but there's a lot of strategy in it. And this one's just really fun. You're building cities, and it's kind of domination, trying to dominate. And I can't recommend this one highly enough.
But, I think the thing is I barely know anything about Catan. Like, in the fact that I was in Spokane in that really cool bookstore that's downtown, and there's like all kinds of, there's like a whole world that people are into with Catan.
Yeah.
All kinds of different flavors and like themes, not flavors, really themes, different boards, different extension packs, there's so much about Catan. We're like in one pinky in Catan.
Yeah.
But it's really fun.
Yeah. And our kids love to play with it. And I think that's the other really neat thing is it really brings in a lot of solid family time. Like our kids love to play games. And when it's game time, like our kids are there and we get to hang out with them and relate to them very differently than like how's school going or how are sports going or what's going on in your love life. We're here just playing and having fun. And I really value that.
Yeah, definitely. You want to play it way more than the rest of us do, every night. But
like to play.
anyway, but it is fun, and I think that the thing also with playing games, even like with the rollerblading, or even when the first time I played Catan, because when we brought this in the building this morning, one of the women was saying how much she loved it. But the first time you play Catan, I was like, I literally have no idea what's happening, and I just didn't understand it. It wasn't making sense to me, and you have to, as adults, I think we don't do a lot of things that we feel like that we're a beginner at, and I think also playing new games allows you to just take a step back from feeling like you're good at everything and just being willing to be bad at it or be imperfect. And again, rollerblading has been a big example for that for me. It's like I'm such a dorky beginner out there, and in public, I like to go when there's not many people out, but I have to be a beginner, and there's not a lot of things I do in my life that I've like never done before. So
yeah, I can
fun.
appreciate that too. I have a similar experience with pickleball. Because I'm a huge pickleball fan now, and I play multiple times a week. But in the beginning, I wasn't very good. But the more you play, you see improvement and you see progress, and that progress feels good. It kind of keeps you coming back.
Yeah.
And now I'm a decent player, and still have lots more to learn. But yeah, there's that sense of learning, and I think as adults, we kind of frequently find ourselves in a place where we're not doing a lot of learning or experiencing a lot of progress, just because we have our set days.
Yeah.
And games allow for that. It's really a huge dose of variety.
Yeah, and growth, because we were talking about how important growth is. I mean, it really is one of our human needs. And I think so many people are unhappy that I see that just don't have much growth or variety, or even relationships. I think over time, if you both aren't growing, and there's a sense of feeling like something's off in the relationship, but really what might be missing is just lack of growth on your own part. So I think that is something to be willing to take the risk to do something new and to have some fun and to be silly and to get beaten and to be bad at something. It all is part of growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is really like one of the big spices of life, I would say.
Yeah. I'll say one more thing too, and then we'll wrap things up. Is that also if you have parents or even grandparents still living, like this is such a great way to connect with them. Like, because sometimes people are like, oh well, we don't have much to talk about, or there's not much to do there. Bring in a deck of cards. Bring in a game. And sit down and commit to playing a game, and there's going to be laughter, there's going to be smiles, there's going to be genuine connection, and that's a real gift that you can give to them.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
Yeah. All right, hey, it's time to wrap this up. Thanks so much for being here today. It's time to get out there now, be a source of kindness, be a source of contribution. You do have something to offer this world, and we believe in you.